Hello everyone, this is your weather dude. What is going on every day, folks? Let's go check out what's going on in the tropics. Ooh, let's see. Alright, so as you can see right off the coast of Florida and Georgia, we have a 60% chance of a potential tropical system forming. We also just had Alberto hit towards the northeast part of Mexico and doing some effects on Texas with storm surge up to 4 to 6 inches, or no, 4 to 6 feet of storm surge. So that was pretty interesting right there. That was the first tropical storm, or first name as well. The second name, it's gonna be happening maybe between these two systems. It's gonna be either the one over towards the Yucatan of Mexico or over towards Georgia and Florida. We don't know what's gonna happen here. That's why we're just gonna go and see what's gonna happen. So let's go check out what the tropics are doing. So we're just gonna check this and see if anything's gonna hit the United States of America as of a tropical storm or whatever. So let's put it into motion. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go. So this is the GFS. So this is the lower resolution model. So we're gonna put this out into motion. And as you can see, we have a little system going, creeping up towards the same exact area that Alberto was just at. It could potentially form into something, but then once it makes landfall, it's really gonna do nothing. And then, there's like just daytime thunderstorms. That's really it. So, it's nothing to worry about. Keep on going. Uh, yeah, like, there's nothing. So, that's pretty much it for there. But we're also going to check what's going to happen throughout the tropics. So this is like out in the Atlantic Basin, the Caribbean, and also the Gulf of Mexico. So let's put that into motion right now. As you can see, there's our two little systems going on right there. The one that is potentially may form over towards Florida and Georgia. I don't see it forming because it's just gonna run right into Georgia and Florida. So nothing is gonna happen right there. But if we look at this one over here towards Mexico, it could form in something like another name, like because it's gonna hit the exact same spot that or Alberto just hit. So that's really not gonna do anything. Ooh, but something that just caught my eye. If you look at the bottom of the screen, right towards the thing that says freezing rain or whatever, if you see right there, right towards the northern part of South America, we may have a little something spinning, but nothing really forming. Another little thing off the coast of Africa and South America in between the Atlantic Basin. That's pretty much. These are like short-lived thunderstorms. Like there's nothing really spinning. There's nothing that's really putting the juice out there to make a system spin. So yes, we're supposed to have a very super hyperactive season, but just right now, we're not gonna see nothing forming other than them two areas right around off the coast of Mexico and off the coast of Florida and Georgia. So okay, on to severe weather. So this is going into the tornadic part, or the severe weather part. Speaking of, are we gonna have any tornadoes? Let's go see what's gonna happen right here. So here we go. As you can see, Friday, June 21st. That's a lot of severe weather right there, with just a slight risk. It's nothing enhanced. It's nothing. It's above a marginal, so we gotta worry about some, especially with that huge straight line winds hitting around towards Nebraska yesterday. I've seen that on radar with 100-mile-per-hour winds. That was crazy. There is also a video for that, so you guys can check it out if you want. But it's pretty interesting how the winds went up to like 100 miles an hour, which is crazy. But anyways, speaking of which, let's get back on topic and talk about the future. So, as you can see, Friday, June 21st. We can see slight risk of severe weather extending from Montana all the way down to northeastern part of Arizona, and then right on the Four Corners region, and then all the way out east, as far east as Wisconsin. So things are looking interesting there. But then the marginal threat, oh my gosh, it goes all the way up to the Canadian border, all the way down to the Mexican border, from Arizona all the way up to Montana, but it goes as far east as New York City. Oh, actually Boston. Yeah, Boston. That is crazy with a marginal threat. And even if they're if let's say that the American weather systems were to also put it into Canada, I want to say if you watch my mouse, the very top of the mouse, you see this would be right around this area, right around Toronto and Windsor, and throughout the southern panhandle of Canada. Because technically it's a panhandle because there's a river going across Lake Huron into Lake Erie, and also going across into Lake Erie into Lake Ontario. So that's something new that you pretty much learned, which if you did not know that. But if you do know that, that's pretty much a panhandle of the southern part of Canada. And as you can see, this is Friday, June 21st. We're going to go see what our tornado threat is. And as you can see, we have a 5% chance of tornadoes. As you can see, they will be only part of South Dakota, Minnesota, Illinois, or no, not Illinois, that is Iowa, and that is Nebraska. And as you can see, it's only 5%, but the 2% goes from Minnesota, yeah, well, technically Wisconsin all the way out to Montana. And that's a 2%. So that's quite a bit right there. And then down to the Four Corners region with a 2%. So it's pretty interesting stuff. A wind threat, it's pretty much the same thing as what I just talked about as the normal threat. The hail threat, a little bit of a different story, but we do have a hatched hail threat. That's only for Montana and very small portions of Wyoming. Very small portions. With the 15% extending from Montana into Minnesota and also Iowa. So it's looking pretty interesting out here. As well as all the way down here towards the Four Corners region. As well as most of it being around Utah. But the 5% extends from the Canadian border all out into all the way down south to Arizona, and then going all the way from Wisconsin all the way down west. So things are looking pretty interesting, as well as parts of northern Illinois. So that's something to keep in mind. Nothing too big. No, not really. Nothing too big at all. Now, the next day later, Saturday. This is tomorrow. Tomorrow, there's there's really nothing at all other than the slight risk extending from small portions of the UP of Michigan all the way down to Missouri. And the slight risk. The marginal threat is extending from Pennsylvania all the way out east to Massachusetts. And then as well as a little small portion of North Dakota. Other than that, that's really nothing, as you can see. But slight risk. It's there. It's there. It's something, but it's really nothing. Because as you can see, 2% tornado threat. I'm gonna zoom in. As you can see, it's showing for a little bit of the southern peninsula of Michigan, or the SP, Southern Peninsula, and then as well as parts of Wisconsin, parts of Illinois, parts of Iowa, parts of Minnesota, small portions of southeast Minnesota, and northern parts of uh, northern parts of Missouri. So things are looking very interesting right there. Wind threat, same thing I just went over. Hail threat, small threat, but it's pretty much in the same areas of the UP of Michigan, parts of pretty much the Midwest, as well as North Dakota. So that's really nothing there. Sunday, um, yeah, like nothing much, like at all. Like, and it doesn't even show that a threat, so we're not gonna worry too much about that. Monday, no. Tuesday, no. Wednesday, no. Thursday, no. Friday, no. And that's pretty much it. So that's actually a good thing that we don't have anything else happening between the next 5 days after Sunday. So that's a bright side. But that could always change. So we gotta keep that in mind and see what's gonna happen with that. We don't know yet, but we're gonna see what happens. Because as you can see, we have our 2 slight risks for today and Saturday. And now we're just gonna look at the normal good old radar. Radar. Sounds cool, right? Or the HRRR model. It's like a small resolution model. So this is like about like today. This is 6/21. So this is June 21st, 2024. So we're going to put this on motion. Like I said, most of our areas are going to be right around this little area right here. So it's really nothing right there. So like right here. That's why we're not really focusing it all the way down here towards Florida and Texas. Yeah, like there's really no point in that. So that's why we're just going to show the northern part of the United States of America. And that's pretty much it. So let's go into motion. As you can see, this is right about today. This is right around evening time. As you can see, a small storms happening in Wisconsin, as well as South Dakota, and then everything starts forming right around the later evening into around nighttime. And as you can see, this is a lot of moisture happening out west. As pop-up storms form from the daily heat, it just it lights up. At least it's not like a fire or anything, but it's at least rain. And you know how if you live out west, it's probably pretty dry out there. So just be thankful for daily rainstorms, at least. Yeah. And as we continue out into the motion, you can see we can see a little bit of straight line winds happening out in South Dakota, parts of Iowa, and Nebraska. So that's looking pretty interesting. Um, so other than that, and then we have daily rain showers, or not daily rain showers, but just normal rain showers happening up in Minnesota, all the way going across to Michigan and parts of the southern part of Canada. So, and then as you can see, we have straight line winds happening right around Wisconsin and parts of northern Illinois. I think there's just going to be rain showers in northern Illinois, but if you look towards Michigan, it's pretty rainy. And then as you can see, right there, once they reach Indiana and Ohio, they just fizzle out and they don't really do anything. And just a couple pop out rain showers, and that's pretty much for the 23rd. And pretty much all that I was pretty much explaining back here, this was pretty much like the evening of the 22nd, or just the 22nd in general. And 23rd, like I said, everything fizzles out right around Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, and right around Kentucky as well. So there's really nothing else going on right there. So that is pretty much today's video. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that good fun stuff, and I will see y'all in the next one. Goodbye. See ya.